Hey guys, Amanda Trombley here, your crazy coach lady, and as always, we're talking about igniting your light, journeying to emotional freedom, and using your maladjustment as a creative tool for betterment. Let's jump right into this real quick chat where we are talking about how learning outside of your comfort zone can be the greatest importance to your soul. I love the field of psychology, and within my first few classes of college, I knew I forever wanted to be in this field and that I was totally home. All of the information that I learned right away and still to this day blew my mind and wrapped me into a world that I absolutely adore. But for me personally, this is such a passion of mine that if asked if I could ever bring somebody back to life, it would not be a lost relative or a celebrity crush that I'd want to meet. It would 100% be the brilliant minds of psychology and philosophy that I've learned in school, because after 4+ years of studying this field, there is so many unanswered questions. There's so many incredible philosophies. There's absolutely just loads of things I would love to learn. That is how much I love my schooling, I love my field, and how interested I am in it. But on the exact same notion, after all these years of studying all the ins and outs of this field, what saved my life was not what they taught me in school. It wasn't what the psychologists or the therapists suggested, and it wasn't the traditional fields of medicine that they suggested. I'm not in any way, shape, or form docking the validity of any of the research and work that's been done in the last century. But personally, what I teach, what my mission is all about, what ultimately saved my soul, isn't what I learned traditionally. What saved my life was being open-minded enough to go against the grain, to question my conditioning. And of course, when we talk about questioning our conditioning, this can relate to the very simple limiting beliefs that are all set before us about money, religion, sex, family, so on and so forth. But in a grander way, what really comes into play, what really saved my life, is questioning my conditioning on the basis of human functioning and mental illness. Although I'm completely obsessed with this, with mental illness, with the brain's functioning, and all things psychology related, not once did a doctor, a teacher, a class lecture, or a homework assignment bring me to the work that saved my life and the work that I've built this business upon. It's taken years of researching scholarly articles, hitting the library, looking at activists and survivor movements, and finding that 1 name, 2 names, 3 names that have never been heard of in any of these fields, to find the teaching, the principles, and work that I now base my life off of. Alternative and holistic medicine was once the prominent practice, and in our culture, it's taken a backseat the last 50-some years, and in that time, traditional medicine took the front seat, the driver's seat, and we're kind of beginning to see this shift go back to its roots, especially when you're associated with the proper circles. But the point here that I'm trying to make is what you've been taught to be true, what you've been conditioned to believe, and what we as society simply accept as truth about mental illness, about human functioning, about the brain, about the design of life, isn't all there is. I urge you, seriously, if you are struggling, if the traditional methods of teaching and learning feel off for you, if they're not doing the trick and they're ultimately leaving you feeling stuck within a condition, completely trapped by its limits, and living a life less than the one you desire, do something about it for yourself. There is so much out there simply that we don't know, simply because somebody hasn't told us, because nobody has directly given us this opportunity to learn some of the incredible philosophies around this type of stuff that is out there. Your health, your recovery, it is your responsibility. And if you want to get back to living a life that you no longer need escape from in any context, then it's up to you to search it out, to try other methods, and to learn like you've never learned before, to change that conditioning and rewrite it all. The Mad Pride community, the psychiatric survivors, and the belief of creative maladjustment sought after by our beloved and past Martin Luther King Jr. completely saved my life and allowed me to be in a position to help so many others confined by mental illness live a new life, a life of ignited light, of passion, of purpose, and of emotional freedom. This was not something that I ever would have gotten if I would have stuck into what I was traditionally taught, what I was traditionally told to believe, what we as a society agree with today. It took my own research. It took looking in different ideas and different lines, and it took me being open and minded enough to accept something else as truth in my life. And that's ultimately what saved me, and maybe the answer for you. You guys, in this timeline, I'm only working with one-on-one clients over a year period of time, and I will not be working one-on-one in any other capacity. These clients that I'm going to be working with over the next year, together we will cultivate the direct path that they need to find emotional freedom. We'll be working on our A to Z end goals together, taking each individual out of the point of suffering and into ultimately aligned emotional freedom and ignited inner light. If this is for you, you know where to find me. If this isn't for you, I am still going to urge you to do some research and start coloring outside of the lines. Start thinking outside of the box, because you'll never know the freedom that you can find with what you haven't been open to yet. That's all I have for this one.